Bismillah, walhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. So welcome to a new class, a new course titled Asmaء الإشارة. Asmaء الإشارة translates in English to demonstrative pronouns. Asmaء الإشارة is either you call it Asmaء الإشارة or you call it Ismul Ishara. So while Asmaul Ishara translates to demonstrative pronouns, Ismul Ishara will translate to demonstrative pronoun without the S, because the difference between Ismun and Asma is just singularity and plurality. So Ismu is the singular form of what? Asma. Asma is the plural while Ismu is the singular. So demonstrative pronouns, you can see Ismul Ishara. So demonstrative pronouns are words used to point out or indicate specific people, things, or places. So to make it simpler, so in English, we all know that, this, those, and the likes. So these words are used in indicating particular thing or place or a particular person or people, as the case may be. So this Asmaul Ishara, the case of this, that, those, is still the same thing in Arabiya with just little differences. So they help the seeker show whether something is near or far. So this is an important point about demonstrative pronouns. So they help the seeker to show whether something is near or far, meaning it is used in indicating the nearness or farness of something, what you are making reference to, or what you are indicating. So you have to use this Asmaul Ishara. So it tells about what? About the nearness or farness of that thing. So there is a clear difference between this and that. So this is indicating that that thing is what? Is near, while that indicates that it is what? It is far away. So this is one of the cogent points that we need to pay attention to as far as demonstrative pronouns are concerned. And in Arabic, they also reflect gender. So meaning with these demonstrative pronouns, it is easy to know the gender of what we are referring to. This is not the case for demonstrative pronouns in English. You see this, that, those. So there's nothing like reflection of gender there. So if I say this word, THIS, so it doesn't indicate whether what I will be referring to is a boy or a girl, a masculine or a feminine. But the case of Arabiya, there is a clear difference between haza and hazihi. We are still coming there actually. So haza indicates that the thing or the person in context now is a male, is a masculine, while hazihi indicates that that person or that thing or that place is a feminine. But that's not the case with this, that, and those. That's not the case with demonstrative pronouns in English. So in Arabiya, aside from the fact that these demonstrative pronouns, they indicate the nearness and farness of what is being referenced. So at the same time, they also reflect gender. So they also reflect number, the number of the thing or place or the person in question. So if I say haza, this haza is indicating three things. Firstly, it is indicating the nearness of what I'm referring to. Secondly, it is also indicating the gender, that it is a male. Aside from the fact that it is near, secondly, it is a male, and thirdly, it is what? It is singular. So we are going to understand it better when we get there, inshallah. So this is just an overview of what demonstrative pronouns are. Now, so we'll be taking these demonstrative pronouns one after the other. So I said here that in Arabic, the common demonstrative pronouns include, meaning we have many of them, but due to our current level, we'll be exploring just these few out of many. So this is just about 11 demonstrative pronouns out of many, meaning we still have some that is not been mentioned in this class. So moving forward, so here we'll be taking a look at haza, zaka, zalika. Haza, zaka, zalika. So I've combined these demonstrative pronouns, I've grouped them based on their similarities. So these three demonstrative pronouns, they are very, very similar, only that they only have just little difference between them. So they are similar. So one thing I would like to emphasize on here is that every demonstrative pronoun has conditions, meaning before you can use it effectively, you must take note of these conditions. So without that, you'll be using it wrongly. So shurut, here we have ashurut. Ashurut means conditions. So to use these demonstrative pronouns effectively, you must take note of what? Of these conditions. First of all, we have al-mufrad, meaning these demonstrative pronouns, they are only used for what? For singular. Al-mufrad, singular. So they are only used in what? In indicating a singular what? Probably place or subject or person, or as the case may be. So al-mufrad. The second one, al-muzakkar, meaning what you are making reference to must be what? Must be muzakkar, must be masculine. Al-qarib. So al-qarib, take note of the color. Here we have purple, meaning this al-qarib is a condition for haza only. It is for haza. Al-qarib means near, meaning this haza, aside from the fact that you have to take note of al-mufrad, al-muzakkar, you still have to take note of what? The nearness of what you are referring to. So meaning it is only used for something that is what? That is near. So while this al-ba'id, it's what? It agrees with zaka and zalika, meaning zaka and zalika, they are both used for far thing, something that is far. If you are referring to, if you are indicating to something that is what? That is far, so that means the right demonstrative pronoun in this case is what? Is zaka and zalik, and not haza, provided that these conditions, they are already what? Met. So al-mufrad, al-muzakkar. So al-qarib, you take haza, and if it is al-ba'id, you take zaka and zalika. And lastly, we have al-aqilu and ghayrul aqil. So meaning these three demonstrative pronouns, you can effectively use them for something that is rational. Al-aqil means rational, something that has sense. So why ghayrul aqil means something that is what? That is not rational, irrational thing. So this al-aqil in Arabiya, whenever you hear aqil, three things falls under this category. Firstly, we have al-insan, that is man, human. So secondly, we have al-malaika, and lastly we have al-jinn. So that's the three things that falls under what? Al-aqil. Any other thing will be what? Will be considered irrational in what? In Arabiya. So to make this point, to make it more clear, or to make it clearer to us, let's take a look at these examples. Where we have al-amthilatu al-munasiba. Al-amthilatu al-munasiba means appropriate examples. Appropriate example, that is the examples that conform or that align with these aforementioned conditions. So here we have haza Muhammadun, haza Muhammadun, and if you like, you can say zaka Muhammadun. So before moving on, haza, this haza we translate to this, this, while zaka and zalika translate to that, that. So meaning if I say haza Muhammadun, it means this is Muhammad, while zaka Muhammadun means that is Muhammad. So now let's compare this with the conditions that I mentioned earlier. So al-mufrad, Muhammad here, it is what? It is mufrad, it is singular. Al-muzakkar, it is masculine. Al-qarib, meaning if I will be using this haza, it will be translating to this is Muhammad. But if I want to choose this zaka, it will mean that. So Zaka Muhammad we translate to that is Muhammad. So and at the same time Muhammad falls under what? Al-Aqil. So meaning these conditions are what? They are met. These four conditions are what? Are met. So definitely this Haza Muhammadun is what? Is grammatically correct. So moving forward, we have Haza Waladun, or you say Haza Gulamun, or you say Haza Rajulun. So Haza Waladun means this is a what? This is a boy. This is a boy. Why Haza Gulamun? It means this is a teenager, while Haza Rajulun means this is an adult. So Walad falls within the age range of 1 to 3, while Gulam about, or you say this 1 to 5, while Gulam is above 5 till the age of what? Puberty. So Rajul is from puberty aged upward. So Haza Waladun means this is what? This is a boy. So Zaka we definitely translate to that. So Zaka Waladun, that is a boy. Zaka Gulamun, that is a teenager. While Zaka Rajulun we translate to that is a man. So, or that is an adult. So now comparing this just like we did for the first one. So let's compare whether these examples align with the conditions. So Walad, it is Mufrad. Walad at the same time it is Muzakkar. Walad, so this Qarib and Bai, it depends on your choice. If you are making reference to something that is near, meaning you'll be using Haza. And if it is far, you make use of Zaka. I believe it is clear. So Al-Aqil now, Walad, Gulam, Rajul, they are what? They are all mankind, human. So definitely they fall under what? Al-Aqil. So this example also what? Also conform with the conditions. Now let's take a look at the third one. So we have Haza Kitabun. So Kitabun also, it conforms with this. Only that it is what? It is Goyrul Aqil, and I said that from the conditions that it is either this or this, meaning it is also what? It is also correct. Haza Kitabun, so this is a book. Zaka Kitabun, that is a book. I believe it is clear. So the same thing applies to Haza Jidarun. Jidarun means a wall. Wall. Haza Jidarun, this is a wall. Zaka Jidarun, that is a wall. So the same thing we have Haza Mindilun, this is a handkerchief. So Haza Zaka Mindil, that is an handkerchief or a handkerchief. So with this, I believe the first segment of demonstrative pronouns based on my grouping, that is Haza, Zaka and Zalika, I want to believe that it is clear to this what point, meaning this Haza, Zaka and Zalika, if you are using another thing, or if you have a condition, for example you want to make reference to Mu'annath now, Mu'annath, something that is feminine, and you are saying Haza Aisha too, so that is wrong. Why? Even though Aisha it is Mufrad, even though Aisha could be Qarib or Ba'id, even though Aisha is what? Is Aqil. So the fact that it has it is not what aligning or conforming with this second condition, that is Muzakkar, so it rendered the expression wrong. So meaning the expression is what? Is grammatically not correct. It is wrong to say Haza Aisha too. So the correct expression, it will be discussed in the what? In the next segment. So moving forward, here we have Hazihi and Tilka. Hazihi and Tilka. So just like the one we did just now, Haza, Zaka and Zalika. So the same conditions applied to it applies to Hazihi and Tilka. Only that Hazihi and Tilka, they are both used specifically for Mu'annath. If you check the difference between these four conditions and what and this, you will notice that what it is obviously the same thing, only that here we have what? Al-Mu'annath. Al-Mu'annath. So Hazihi we translate to this, while Tilka we also translate to what? That. So this is one of the beauties of what? Of Arabiya. So in Arabiya, we have many demonstrative of pronouns with different conditions. So unlike in English, where hazihi, tilka, zaka, haza, and zalika, we translate to the same thing. So here we have al-mufrad. Let's take an example, then compare it with the conditions that we have here. So here we have hazihi Aishatu, or you say hadhihi fatatun. So hadhihi Aishatu we translate to this is Aisha, or hadhihi fatatun, this is a girl. While tilka Aishatu we translate to that is Aisha, and tilka fatatun we translate to that is a girl. So comparing this, let's compare between the conditions. Let's confirm whether this Aisha, whether it's met with the conditions. So here Aisha, it is mufrad. So at the same time it is muannas, it is feminine. Al-qarib, it is what is that you use hadhihi. So that is why it is painted, it is highlighted with what? With purple. So hadhihi Aisha too. So and if you like, you can still say tilka Aisha too. So this and that. This is Aisha and that is Aisha. So Aisha at the same time it is what? It is akil. It is akil. So meaning what? This expression is grammatically what? Correct. But saying haza Aisha too, it is what? It is wrong. To say haza Aisha too. Why? Because Aisha is a feminine. Aisha is muannath. And the haza is only used for what? For muzakkar. So meaning it is incorrect to say haza Aisha too. So I want to believe that this is clear. So hadhihi, we have hadhihi muhandisatu. So before moving forward, the easiest way to recognize or differentiate between al-muzakkar and al-muannas is the rounded ta that is always found at the end of muannas. Ismu that nouns that are feminine. So they will always have, in most cases, so they always have ta, a rounded ta at the end. So while muzakkar doesn't what? It doesn't have a rounded ta at the end. So just like the case of fatatun is different from fata. Fata is a boy, while fatatun is what? Is a girl. So the same thing applies to muhandisatun here. Muhandisatun is a female engineer, while muhandisun is a male engineer. So mudarrisatun is a female teacher, while mudarrisun is a male teacher. So that's just the clue about differentiating between al-muzakkar and al-muannas. So moving forward, we have hadhihi muhandisatun. This is a female engineer. So hadhihi mudarrisatun, this is a female teacher. Hadhihi ajuzun, this is what? This is an old woman. So ajuz is used for the old. So ajuz for female. If it is male, you use shaykhun. So comparing between this expression, or let's confirm whether it's met with these conditions. So we have al-mufrad, muhandisatun is mufrad, and at the same time muhandisatun is muannas. Muhandisatun is what? Is qarib if you are using hadhihi, and it is ba'id if you are using what? Tilka. So is it akil or goyrul akil? It is akil, muhandisatun. The same thing with mudarrisatun, and the same thing with ajuz. So now I'm taking a look at the third one, hadiqatun. Hadiqatun also conforms with the conditions, only that hadiqatun is what? Is ghayrul akil, and I said earlier that it is either al-akil or ghayrul akil, meaning it's still what? It's still correct to say hadhihi hadiqatun. So hadhihi qalansuwatun. So qalansuwatun also met with the conditions, despite the fact that it is what? It is ghayrul akil. So qalansuwatun means cap. This is a cap. Hadhihi qalansuwatun wa hadhihi tawilatun. Tawilatun means table. It means table. So hadhihi tawilatun. So table is what? Is ghayrul akil. It is not rational. So it is still what? It is still correct with that. So now here we have hadhihi kutubun, or you say tilka kutubun. Hadhihi kutubun, meaning what? These are books. Hadhihi kutubun. Kutubun is is the plural form of kitab. Kitab is the singular, while kutub is the plural. So hadhihi kutubun, these are books. So why tilka, we translate to what? Those are what? Those are tilka kutubun. So these are what? Or you say those, those, so to indicate that it is what? It is ba'id, to indicate that it is ba'id. So those are what? Those are books. So one thing I want us to pay attention to here is that comparing this kutub, just a moment, comparing this kutub to these conditions, you will notice that kutub, it is what? It is not mufrad. It is not mufrad. So that is why I give an option here that it is either mufrad or al-jam'u ghayrul aqil. For jam'u, that is what? That is not rational. So kutub is plural, but at the same time it is not what? It is not rational, like muhandisatu, aishatu, hadiqatu. So it is not rational. So it is correct to use what? To say hadhihi kutubun. So that's the first condition actually. Al-jam'u ghayrul aqil. Secondly, is it muannas or not? So taking a look at the form presently now being a what's it called? Being a plural. So you can consider it as what? As muannas. So plural, al-jam'u, plural, for something that is not rational, something that is not rational. So they are always considered as what? As mu'annas in Arabiya. So moving forward, hadhihi, so it complies with what? Al-qarib. Why tilka is for what? Is for al-ba'id. So is it akil or ghayrul akil? It is ghayrul akil. So it is correct to say hadhihi kutubun, provided that it is what? It is jamu, it is plural for ghayru al-akil. Meaning it is wrong for me to use a plural that is akil. For example, banat. Banat is what? Is the plural form of bintu. Bintu is just a girl. So banat means what? Girls, females. So it is wrong to say hadhihi banatun. It's wrong. Why? Because what? Because banatun is jam'u. It is, and the condition that must be met to use hadhihi is what? Is either what? Mufrad, or for jam'u that is not what? That is not rational. Ghayrul aqil. So banat is what? Is not rational, despite the fact that it is what? It is jam'u. So it is wrong to say hadhihi banatun. I want to believe that it is clear. So hadhihi usudun. So hadhihi usudun is still what? Is still correct. Or you say tilka usudun. Why is it correct? It is correct because what? It is jamu. Usud is the plural form of asad. Asad is a lion, while usud is lions, the plural form. So despite the fact that it is jamu for what? Ghayrul aqil. It is not rational. I said it earlier that rationality in Arabiya, so it's based on what? Is based on three things. It's either what's it called? For man, human, or what? Or malaika, or what? Or jinn. So those are the three things that falls under what? Al-aqil. Any other thing aside from that will be considered what? It will be considered irrational. So meaning asad, despite the fact that some people may be thinking that asad is rational, maybe it has what? Sense. So that's not the case in as Arabiya is concerned. So al-jam'u ghayrul aqil. So usud is jam'u, and at the same time it is ghayrul aqil, meaning it's what? It agrees with this first condition. Secondly, al-mu'annas. So I said it earlier that for plural that is for ghayrul aqil, it is correct to consider it as what? As mu'annas, provided that it is what? It is jamu for ghayrul aqil. So qarib or ba'id, so it depends. Hadhihi usudun, these are what? These are lions. Tilka usudun, those are what? Those are lions. So I want to believe that it is clear up to this point. So hadhihi and tilka. Hazi we translate to this, while tilka we translate to what? That. So a simple clue between the difference between haza and hazi only falls here, al-muzakkar. While haza is used for al-muzakkar, hazi is used for what? Al-muannas. The remaining conditions is still what? It's still the same. It is still constant as far as both demonstrative pronouns are concerned. So moving forward, here we have hazan and zanika. Hazan is used for what? It will still translate to this. Hazan, it translates to this, while zanika also translates to that. But the difference between haza and azan is that azan is used to make reference to something that is dua. Something that is dua. So this is not found in English language. So hazan is for dua, and dua in Arabiya is al-musanna. Al-musanna. So taking a look at the conditions now. So hazan, to use hazan effectively, so meaning this condition has to be met. Firstly, al-musanna. What you are making reference to has to be what? Has to be dua. That's the first condition. Secondly, al-muzakkar. It has to be what? It has to be a masculine. And thirdly, it is either al-qarib or al-ba'id. Al-qarib is for what? Hazan. Meaning near. So while al-ba'id, far, it is for what? It is for zanika. So and also the last point, al-akil or ghayr al-akil. So you can either use it for something that is rational or irrational being. So taking a look at the examples now, al-amsilatu al-munasiba. That's the appropriate examples. Here we have hazani taliban. Hazani taliban. These are two students. So that's the best way to translate in English. So these are two students. These. So these are two what? Are two students. So hazan taliban, or you say zanika talibani. So those are two students. So taking a look, let's compare with the conditions. So hazan here, or taliban. Taliban is musanna. It is dua, and at the same time it is what? It is muzakkar, because the singular form of it is talibun, and talib is what? Is muzakkar. So at the same time, al-qarib, it is what? It is near, provided that we are using hazan. And if it is zanika, it is for what? Al-ba'id. So taliban, it is what? It is akil, meaning it conforms with what? With these four conditions. So one thing I would like to explain further here is that to convert, it is easy in Arabiya to convert a singular noun to dua. How is that done? Just by it is done by adding alif and what? And ta. Alif and ta. Talibun, if you want to convert it to musanna, you just add your alif, this added alif, and what? Alif and nun, sorry. So you say taliban. If it is kitabun, to convert it to two books, it becomes what? Kitaban. If it is for qalam, it becomes qalaman. If it is for thawbu, it becomes thawban. If it is for anything, just keep adding alif and what? And nun. So, but at times you find it as ya and nun. So that's a separate case on its own. Just know that it is either alif and what? And it is either you are adding alif and nun, or ya and nun, meaning we can still have talibaini, we can still have kitabaini, and we can still have what? Qalamaini. But it goes beyond the scope of our topic for today. So we'll be exploring it on a later date, inshallah. So here we have hazani taliban. So hazani waladan, gulaman, shurtiyan. So these are two boys, two teenagers, two policemen. So shurtiyu is policemen. So that's the singular shurtiyu. So convert it to musanna, just add alif and nun, then it becomes shurtiyan. So gulamun, to convert it to musanna, it becomes what? Gulaman. The same thing with waladun, it becomes waladan. So comparing this with the conditions, so waladan is musanna, it is muzakkar, it is qarib provided that you are using hazan, and it is ba'id provided that you are using zanika. So is it akil or goyul akil? It is what? It is akil. So the same thing applies to gulaman and shurtiyan. So but the case of thawb is what? Is goyul akil, hazani thawban. That's what these are two clothes. Zanika thawban, those are two clothes. So hazani judrani, these are what? Are two walls. Zanika judrani, those are two walls. I want to believe that is clear. Thawbun is a cloth. Why jidarun? This is jidaron. There's a mistake here. Jidaron, not judron. Jidaron. Hazani mushafan. Hazani mushafan. Mushaf, that's the singular, that's the Quran. So the plural, the dual form is mushafan. So hazani mushafan. These are two Quran. These are two mushafs. So why zanika? Those are two mushafs. So if you compare this thawban, judran, jidaron, and mushafan, if you compare it with these conditions, you will notice that what they all comply with the conditions. So that is that about azan and what? And zanika. So we now have another form of this, such that the only difference between this and the next one that we'll be exploring now is just what? Is just this al-muzakkar. It's just this what? Al-muzakkar. There we have al-mu'annas instead of al-muzakkar. Now here we have hatan and tanika. Hatan and tanika. So hatan, just like hazan, it also translates to this. And tanika translates to what? Those. Only that what? Hatan, the difference between hazan and hatan lies in this, or within this second condition. So every other condition remains what? The same. So hatan is used for musanna, is used for muannas, dual and what? Feminine, and at the same time it is used for al-qarib, and it is used for either al-akil or ghayr al-akil. Here we have hatani talibatan. Though these are two what? Are two students. Hatani talibatan. Hatani imra'atan. These are two females. So it is wrong here to say hazani talibatan. Why is it wrong? Because hazan is specifically for muzakkar. So why hatan is specifically for what? Muannas. So talibatan, it agrees with these conditions. It is musanna, it is dua, it is muannas, it is feminine. At the same time, it is qari, provided that we are using hatan, and ba'id, provided that we are using tanika. So and at the same time, it is what? It is for akil. It is for akil, meaning it is what? It is rational. The same thing with imra'atan. So hatan hadiqatan. Hatani hadiqatan. Hadiqatan is garden. Is garden. So hatani jawalatan. Jawalatan is phones, mobile phone. So two phones, two gardens. So these are what? These are two gardens. Hatani jawalatan. These are two mobile phones. So tanika we translate to those. It will translate to those. So those are two mobile phones. Those are two gardens. Those are two mobile phones. So if you compare these with the conditions, so hadiqatan is musanna, it is muannas at the same time because it has a rounded ta at the end. Hadiqatun. So it is qarib, provided that you are using this, and ba'id, provided that you are using tanika. So is it akil or ghayr akil? It is ghayr akil, and at the same time it is what? It is correct to use it like that. So hatani sa'atani, hatani sa'atan. So this and this, they are still what? They still fall under the same category. Sa'atan, sa'atu means watch. Sa'atu, it means watch. WATCH. So it's still the same thing as I said earlier. Hatani sa'atan, these are two watches. Why tanika sa'atan, those are two watches. So it also conforms with the shurut, the conditions that we have here. So in our next episode, inshallah, we'll be exploring ha'ula'i and ula'ika. So we'll be stopping here. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to increase us in knowledge and understanding. Innahu waliyyun qadirun wa bil ijabati jadir. Wa la hawla wa la quwwata illa billahi al-aliyyil azim. Subhanaka Allahumma bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant. Astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Wassalamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.